It's Ash from Super Videos back for another live stream Q&A. This is going to be Q&A number 77, and it's for Season 8, Episode 13, which was called Do Not Send Us Astray, going into Episode 14. So it's our discussion based on what we saw last episode, Episode 13, and what we will be seeing in the next episode, Episode 14. Wu Tease says, "Hi, hello there, how are you?" And I did make some changes to the configurations on the live stream, so hopefully that means that the quality is a little bit better. So let me know also, how the quality is, because I did make some changes to the settings and everything, so there might be different quality in terms of the stream. So let me know about that. Yeah, so for those of you joining us, the Q&A just started about 2 minutes ago, so yeah, you can ask your questions for Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 13, and also for Episode 14. We also had another Q&A last night, but that one was concentrated on Fear the Walking Dead. We did talk a little bit about Walking Dead as well, but it was mostly for Fear the Walking Dead. It was a great discussion that we had. Some good kind of predictions, not necessarily predictions, but good amount of discussion about Season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead and what we might end up seeing. But this one is just for Walking Dead and for Season 8 in general, but most specifically the last episode and the next episode. So yeah, we'll just wait for more people to join here. Yeah, so I'll be right back, guys. I'll wait for more people to join, and then I'll rejoin the stream here. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A. Hey Ash, I just watched Star Wars The Force Awakens. I thought it was great. Cool. I haven't seen it. I'm not a Star Wars guy, so yeah. But you liked it. That's good. If you guys watched my review for the last episode, I really enjoyed the episode, and you know that from my reaction as well. But as much as I enjoyed the episode, there were definitely some things that they were just flaws of the episode. There's no way else to put it. There were just things that they didn't get right, logically and also in terms of story. So, and yeah, if you watch my review, I point those out and I talk about them in my review, but I think overall it was a good episode. I would say from the standards of this season, this was a great episode. You know what I mean? So there were some problems, definitely some valid problems, but overall it was a good episode. Giuseppe Da Rosa, hey Ash. Hey Giuseppe, how are you? Epic Zombie Killer Q&A, hey Ash, what do you think happened to Henry? Is he dead or is he alive? I touched on that on last night's Q&A. I think he most likely just ran for the Saviors, ran after them to, kill them or do whatever he thinks he can do by himself to them. But overall, I think they may even go a direction where they want you to think that he's dead or he's captured. But at the end of the day, I think he's just gone after the Saviors. Johnny Gat, will Daryl and Rosita bring Eugene to Hilltop? They can. I don't think Eugene would want to go with them. He was given that chance before, right? He didn't take it. So, one, I don't think they should, because Eugene didn't take the chance first time, or that opportunity. Why would he do it again, or do it now? And then second, if Eugene doesn't want to go, he's not going to want to go. There's nothing Daryl and Rosita can do to bring him back, unless they force him out of there. Giuseppe De Rosa, will Daryl date Rosita? He could. I mean, that's one of the things where there's been a lot of talk about it, but at the end of the day, they haven't done anything to build that up. It's just out of the blue if they actually do it. So if they want to do that, they would have to build up on it, and concentrate on it, and do what they need to do to make it not feel forced. At the end of the day, that's what it is. And it would feel forced at this point if they do it. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think we'll see Rick die? Eventually, but not anytime soon. Giuseppe De Rosa, ever. Yeah, we will, but not anytime soon. Epic Zombie Killer, Q&A, hey Ash, how did you feel about the death of Tobin? Was it good death? Yeah, it was a good death, I would say. Aside from the fact that it didn't wake anyone up, which was unrealistic, it was done well. I think other than that, it was done very well. It felt scary. It felt like you didn't know what was happening. Even though I knew that something like this was going to happen when he was stabbed, I was still a bit, not surprised, but excited when it actually happened. So I think that means that they did a good job. AJYT Abbott, do you think Gregory will attempt to kill Maggie again? It'll be repetitive, I feel. He could, but it'll feel repetitive. Wait. Actually, we haven't seen that in the show, right? So, no, we will see that one time. But then after that, I feel like it'll be repetitive. If they end up changing the story and not having him die right away and stuff, I think, yeah. That part of your question when you said again threw me off a bit. That's why I thought you meant an again, like do it again. Giuseppe De Rosa, they should give the extras a little more screen time, like Scott. Yes, but no at the same time, because there's just so many characters at this point. Jesus was recently introduced, right? Not recently, but recent enough. Where's the story for him? Where's the character development for him? We don't really see that. So I would rather them invest time on those characters. Jesus, Dwight got a bit of screen time, a bit of story, but then maybe Simon, maybe someone like from the Hilltop, someone like Earl Sutton, the blacksmith and everything. So there's so many characters that are at the top of the line or the top of the ranking in terms of how much they should be concentrated on and how much screen time they should get. And I think Scott is at the bottom, probably. Giuseppe De Rosa, who will die first, Daryl or Rick? Probably Daryl. I want it to be Daryl first. What I want and what I think are going to be different. But I think in this case, yeah, they will end up having Daryl die first before Rick. And that's what I want to happen anyway. Epic Zombie Killer. Q&A, hey Ash, do you think Gregory will die in Season 9? Yes. Most likely, if they're gonna stick with comic material. Johnny Gap, what I want to see at the end of this week's episode is Simon and the Saviors are talking about their next move, and then Negan comes out of nowhere nowhere and brutally Lucille's Simon. Yeah, I don't want to see that. I feel like let's just entertain the idea that Lucille and Simon is a good idea in terms of story. I don't want it right now. It'll be better if we get the cliffhanger, Negan showing up. I actually like that idea. I love it, actually. But then, after that, that's where I'm a bit iffy. Let us entertain the idea that Simon getting Lucille is a good idea in terms of story. Then it should happen the next episode, not the episode where Negan actually shows up. So that there's that amount of time where everyone's buzzing on it, everyone's talking about it, and then everyone's tuning in next week to see what happens. But other than that, I don't like the idea of Negan Lucilleing Simon. One, I want that reward to be given to a survivor. One thing. And the next is that I don't want that replicated. I feel like the Lucille scene was great and impactful because it was unique. So if they keep doing stuff like this, it loses its impact. You know what I mean? Especially if it's done on a villain, Simon, right? So that's where I stand on it. Alfie Davis, am I only person who is really annoyed that Tobin's dead? I'm not really annoyed, but it was like we haven't seen him for like a couple episodes, right? Maybe, yeah, a couple episodes. And then suddenly they give him all of this screen time because they want to kill him off. That's the only reason I was a little bit annoyed. Not because he's dead, but because he didn't get any or that much screen time before, and then all of a sudden, when he has to die, they give him this much screen time. Which maybe that's inevitable or inevitable, right? Maybe that's the way they have to do it. Other than that, it doesn't work. So I see why they should do it sometimes, but it shouldn't be the case all the time. And in Walking Dead, it feels like it's happening all the time. AJYT Abbott, do you think Daryl will kill Dwight if Daryl dies? Yeah, I think maybe. He would want to, definitely. Giuseppe De Rosa, the series should focus more on the main characters. Yes and no. Yes, when there's an interesting story to be told from the main characters, and no, when there is none. If there is none, let some of the other non-main characters get some screen time. Build up their characters and their stories a little bit. Giuseppe De Rosa, I want to see a Negan and Simon fistfight. I kind of want to see that too, but I don't want to see Negan kill Simon at the same time because I want Simon to die by the hand of a survivor. At the end of the day, that's where I stand on it. Epic Zombie Killer. Q&A, hey Ash, do you think Negan... Oh, I just read that. Oh wait, did I? No. Q&A, hey Ash, do you think Negan will kill Simon in the Season 8 finale? Maybe, but I don't want that. But there is a chance. But there's definitely going to be something happening between those two characters by the end of the season. Which is going to be very interesting to see. AJYT Abbott, if they were going to kill off Negan, who would you want to kill him? Rick. I just poke myself there. Rick, Maggie, maybe Daryl. Yeah, top 3 picks. Epic Zombie Killer. Hey Ash, do you miss Shiva? A little bit, just a little bit. Giuseppe De Rosa. If you really think about it, Tobin has been around for quite a while. Yes, he was there ever since they came to Alexandria. All that time. Johnny Gatt, I want a Negan flashback. It doesn't fit in this season. This season, no, it doesn't fit in my opinion, but next season, yeah, I think there's a good chance we will see that. AJYT Abbott, I'd want Dwight to kill Simon or a survivor, like you said. Yes. Even Dwight, I don't even want it to be given to Dwight. Because that's not a big reward for us. I want it to be given to a survivor. Top of the line, in terms of survivors, are either Rick, Daryl, or maybe Carol, or, let's see, Simon. And if you really want to go that route, maybe Jadis. But again, Jadis, I don't think the reward is big enough for us. So yeah, my top 3 picks are... Actually, my top 4 picks are this. So, Rick, yeah. Actually, I have a better list. Rick, Maggie, Daryl, and Carol or Morgan. These are my top 5. Alfie Davis, I want Negan dead so bad. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen for now at least. Let's see what happens in the finale, but yeah, I want him dead too, but he's just such an interesting and entertaining character, right? AJYT Abbott, do you think we'll see Carl again as a flashback or vision this season? We could. Potentially, yeah. Giuseppe De Rosa, is Tara infected? No. Dwight most likely didn't use an infected arrow on her. He used a regular arrow. Epic Zombie Killer. Hey Ash, how do you feel about the whole Jadis having Negan on the trolley in episode 14? Interested. Very interested. Let's see what happens. I'm actually very interested about that, to see not only what Jadis does, but how does Negan react? And how does Simon's name get brought up? And what happens there? Especially now that Negan knows what Simon did. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think Carol will sail away like the comics? In the comics, it wasn't Carol. It was Michonne. So, I don't think so. I think they're remixing it. They're basically giving it to Morgan, right? In a way, Morgan crossing over to Fear is much like what Michonne went through in Walking Dead. So I feel like they're giving it to Morgan. AJYT Abbott, do you think Morgan or Henry will get to kill Jared? I want it to be Morgan. Me, especially. Or specifically. But they could have Henry do it as well. But I want it to be Morgan. Or Carol. Epic Zombie Killer. Or Ezekiel. Epic Zombie Killer. I love Negan. He's one of my favorite characters in the comics. Yes, same here. Johnny Gat, do you think Negan can redeem himself if he doesn't die in the finale? As much as he did in the comics. Not more than that. For me at least, in the comics, Negan hasn't redeemed himself 100%. It's good in terms of redemption. I don't want him dead right now. That's what I mean. And I feel like he did deserve, or he did do enough to deserve to stay alive. And I think in the show they will do the same thing. He will redeem himself just enough so that fans will let him live. Not be happy, but be content with him living. Giuseppe De Rosa. Yeah, what I meant was like a remix. Let me see what your last question was. Yeah, okay, about the Carol thing. Yeah, I think for remixing it, they could do that, but I feel like they're already remixing it, right? Because they gave it to Morgan. AJYT Abbott, do you think Negan will try to make another deal with Jadis? Most likely. Very likely. AJYT Abbott, I feel like Henry needs closure, but I want Morgan to kill him too. He's been trying to this whole season. Yes. At the same time, I don't want Henry to do it because that moves that character in a very, I guess, dark direction. And in my opinion, that's kind of repetitive because we've seen that with Carl. So, yeah, I feel like they could do more interesting stuff with Jared other than have Henry kill him. Epic Zombie Killer. In the comics, he did redeem himself by rescuing Rick from the Westworld zombie army. It'll be awesome to see that adapted in the show. Yes, it's going to be interesting to see that, exciting. But, again, I feel like he's redeemed himself just enough. And it's not so much that I'm saying, I don't care about anyone, it doesn't matter what happens, I want Negan alive. Even if it means some of the other characters dying. That's not where I stand on Negan right now. He hasn't redeemed himself to a point where I feel as attached to him as some of the other characters, like Rick, like Michonne, like from the comics. Yeah, like Rick, Michonne, Carl, and some of the other ones. Johnny Gat, what do you think of Alden? I like Alden. He's the savior, right? I like him. He's that own savior that stayed back and helped when he could have ran away. I like him. AJYT Abbott, do you think killing Jared will stop Morgan from seeing Ghost Gavin? I don't think so. I don't think so. The reason why Morgan is seeing Ghost Gavin is not because of Jared. It's because of what Henry did. It's about what Morgan's actions made this innocent kid do. It's all about that. It's not about anything about Jared, right? So, Alfie Davis, it's so annoying that in episode 13 when Rick tried to kill Negan, he shot so many times but still managed to miss every shot. Yes, that's just... It's gonna happen, right? Whatever. It was a cool scene, it was a cool sequence, but yeah, a bit unrealistic. Stretching reality a little bit. AJYT Abbott, am I the only one that doesn't want Maggie to end up with Alden? Not enough time has passed for Maggie to even get close to being ready to be with someone else. It's not just you. I feel the same way. Especially with the Savior, right? Epic Zombie Killer. Hey Ash, since Carl and Andrea are dead in the show, during Andrea's death in the comics, he called Andrea Mom. Who will they give that line to? That's interesting. They're gonna have to remix that. They can't do anything else. They have to remix it. They would have to do something crazy, right? Because with the way things are, that scene is most likely going to be scrapped altogether. We are 24 minutes in, so maybe 5 more minutes for this live stream, and then that'll be the end. Some great discussions, very good discussions in terms of Negan, the finale, and what it's leading up to. Definitely very interesting live stream Q&A, interesting questions. But yeah, 5 more minutes. That'll be the end of the stream. Before we end the stream though, let me know about the quality of the stream, because I did change some settings, and hopefully that helped the quality, and we have better quality. But let me know, definitely let me know. If it doesn't make a difference, I might just go back to the original, because there's definitely delay. With this setting that I changed, there's a delay, so I'm not 100% live. I'm like a minute behind. So, yeah, I think there's a trade-off between quality and how real time it is. So let me know about the quality and if it's better than what it was before. In terms of the video quality. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A, is it possible they could give Michonne Andrea's comic death? They would have to, right? They would have to, but they have to remix the part with Andrea saying goodbye to Carl from the comics, right? They're going to have to change that. Johnny Gat, will Aaron bring the Oceanside to help or nah? At this point, just do it already, right? They've been teasing it so much, just do it already if you're going to do it. The war is almost over. Come on, let's just do it if you're going to bring in Oceanside. Let's not push it back. If you're not going to do it, just don't do it. If you're going to do it quickly, because we're getting to the end of the war here. AJYT Abbott, if she ends up with Alden, she might as well be spitting on Glenn's grave. Yeah, something like that. AJYT Abbott, quality's great. Good. I'm happy that the quality's better now. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A, what happened to Aaron? We haven't seen him in a while. He stayed back at Oceanside, tried to get them to join the war, right? So let's see how that happens, or how that goes. They've been trying like 5 times. They've tried 5 times, right? They did it first time with Tara when she was captured by them, Tara, and when Heath basically disappeared. Then they went back with Rick and the others, and then I'm drawing a blank on her name. Then Aaron and Enid went there, and now Aaron is going. So it's 4 times. 4 times that they've tried to get them on board. AJYT Abbott, if they don't bring the Oceanside in the finale, they might as well get rid of their whole story. It's getting annoying. I agree. I like their story because it puts some context into the Simon character, right? That was definitely interesting and definitely good in terms of story, in terms of developing the story and making it not feel as one after the other as, stories usually are. They haven't completely revealed it, which I actually like, because there's that unknown mystery aspect. But they were good for that. But other than that, they haven't done anything for them in the war, other than providing weapons. That's it. So, yeah, I do agree it's getting annoying. Epic Zombie Killer, will we see Aaron again in the season finale? We have to. Come on. We have to. If we don't, then it feels stupid in terms of story, because we're going to have a time jump next season, right? So it'll be almost pointless if they don't. AJYT Abbott, it worked with the scavengers because you always felt like something interesting would go down when they went to recruit them. Scavengers meaning the junkyard community, I don't agree. I didn't find that group interesting. It's only now when it's Jadis by herself that Jadis by herself acting normal, not speaking weirdly and not doing weird stuff, where I actually find her story interesting. So it's only now. So I didn't find the scavengers interesting, but I do find Jadis very interesting now. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A right now, the Oceanside is feeling like the hospital arc from season 5. Yeah, but it's that story. It's kind of like that story arc, but stretched for like a season and a half. Or more than that, right? They introduced Oceanside in season 7. So it's like nearly 2 seasons, right? Where the hospital group was only half a season. AJYT Abbott, yeah, that is true. Jadis is more interesting now than ever before. Yes, I agree there. Alright, we are like 30 minutes in. Some great questions, some interesting kind of ideas and opinions from you guys. So very good live stream Q&A here. Yeah, so that's basically the end of the stream here. Stay tuned for my reaction on Sunday night, right after the episode airs. Maybe an hour after that. My reaction will be posted. So stay tuned for that. And also stay tuned for, of course, the review after that. First, the breakdown for the next episode, the promo breakdown. And then after that, the review. And after the review, stay tuned for the next live stream. And I might do, videos in between there if I need to do a video or two. But that's basically the structure every week. We're going to have the reaction, then the breakdown, then the review, then the live stream Q&A. So that's going to be the structure every week. I'll answer a couple more questions here. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A, Jada is becoming one of my favorite characters. Not my favorite, but interesting enough to a point where I don't feel like I want to punch someone or not punch someone, punch the wall or turn off the TV when she's on. AJYT Abbott, I could even see Jada surviving past All Out War. I can't see that. They're most likely just going to kill her this season. Epic Zombie Killer, hey, I'm confused why your streams are short. Well, they're 30-minute streams, right? I could push it for longer, but I think 30 minutes is a good time where we actually talk about the episodes, last episode and the next episode, and not anything other than that. Other than that, I might do more Q&As other than these types of Q&As, but that's why I have it so short, so that we only talk about the last episode and the next episode for Walking Dead. But I'll extend this stream here for a couple more minutes, because we are getting some good questions here. We'll do 10 more minutes of questions here. Usually my streams are, or there isn't as much activity on the streams. There isn't that many questions. That's why 30 minutes is enough, but maybe today I'll push it for a little bit longer. Epic Zombie Killer, hey Ash, do you think they'll rebuild Alexandria? Yeah, probably. We might not see it. They might just show the outcome or the aftermath of the rebuilding process, but we will definitely see that because they have to go back, right? And the kingdom too. They're probably going to rebuild the kingdom as well. And rebuild Hilltop if things end up going, wrong or things happen. Just gonna check something here real quick before we end the stream here. Alright, let me see. Okay. Epic Zombie Killer. Hey Ash, if Diana was still alive, how would she have reacted to Alexandria being destroyed by the Saviors? She would be devastated, maybe more than Rick. And yeah, she would probably feel defeated. Way more than Rick. And obviously devastated that the community she built from scratch is like this. So again, I want to recap the structure for the next couple episodes or the next couple weeks here, at least for now. So for season 8, episode 14, 15, and 16, 14, 15, 16, reaction first. That's going to be uploaded first. Then we're going to have the breakdowns. So I'm going to upload the breakdowns, then the reviews for the episodes, and then the live streams for the episodes. So these 4. And then once Walking Dead's done, when Fear starts, probably reactions, probably no reviews, but breakdowns. So I will do reactions, breakdowns to the promos, and the live streams on Fridays. That's going to continue being there. So it's just the reviews will probably, I'm not going to upload those. I might do small length videos here and there talking about certain stuff. And I will definitely talk about the crossovers and the crossover and stuff in separate videos, but I'm not going to have a standalone review per se. But that's going to be the structure, and then that's going to take us to the end of Fear. mid-season finale, right? All the way for season 4. And then after that, we're going to have Q&A live streams weekly. So it's not just going to be dedicated to Fear or just Walking Dead. It's going to be everything. Just general Q&As. And yeah, after that, when second half of season 4 of Fear starts, same process. And that's going to take us to, again, at the end of season 4, we'll see what happens. If Walking Dead starts, then the process for Walking Dead starts in terms of the structure of those videos and stuff like that. So that's going to be what it looks like in terms of the structure of the video content coming out. Epic Zombie Killer, hey Ash, I'm curious why you're not into Star Wars. I haven't watched any of them, really, so it's just not my type of genre. Q&A, hey Ash, is it possible the claimed group from season 4 were part of the Saviors? No, they were so far apart that it just doesn't make sense. They acted like them, but they probably weren't part of their group. Alright, that's it for this Q&A live stream. Thank you to everyone who participated and all the support that you guys have given the channel so far and continue doing so, and continue to do so. And yeah, I really appreciate all the support. And this was a great Q&A, very great questions, and very exciting discussion that we had. So that's it for this Q&A. I will see you next time for the next Q&A next week. Thank you. Alright, I'm back. Seems like some people joined right when I ended the stream, so I'll stick around for a couple more minutes because there's more people joining and stuff. So, Anna Hume. Hi Ash, finally we meet. Yes, great to see you. How are you? Epic Zombie Killer. Bye, have a great day. Love you. Thank you. I'm back now, but I'll stick around for a couple more minutes here. We have, I'm not sure how you pronounce your name here. Yeah, you. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't want to butcher your name, so I'm just going to call you CK. CK, hi Ash. People say that the second season is the worst season in the Walking Dead history. Agree or disagree? Season 2 of Walking Dead. I think it's close between season 7 and season 2. Definitely close. Anna Hume, no, you leave when I arrive. I'm back now. And you say you are back. Yes. Yeah, I am back. Good thing I saw the comment right before I closed everything. But yeah, because there are more people joining, I'll stick around for a couple more minutes here. The live streams actually start 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And it's like that most weeks, right? Most Fridays. So yeah, that's basically when I start the streams. And they're usually 30 to 40 minute streams. Wu Tease says, hi man, hi, how are you? Anna Hume, what do you think about Eugene? Can he be redeemed? He can, but it's getting difficult to root for or to, want him to redeem himself because of the things he's doing. So it's getting slowly very difficult, but I think he still can redeem himself by the end of the season. Wooty is fine, and you, I am great. Epic Zombie Killer is back. Will Eugene betray Negan in season finale? Probably, most likely. That's probably where the story is heading. If they want to redeem Eugene, that's probably where it should go, right? Again, to the extent of how much Eugene betrays Negan, that remains to be seen, but he will most likely do it at some point. And Nahum, also, I love the last series of Fear. I'm really hoping that can stay as he was. Not crazy in clear mode. Yeah, Morgan, yeah, I hope so. I hope that we see a different Morgan. I hope it's not the all life is precious Morgan, and I hope that it's not the clear Morgan. I hope it's a different type of Morgan. I hope so. Ooh, tease, it's possible Negan won the war? Nope. Not that possible. If they want to do that, then they should just end the series, right? Because if the bad guys aren't going to win, now what's the point of the story, right? I mean, it could happen once or twice. It did with Negan and the Saviors. They defeated them first time, right? They killed Glenn and Abe. Then they did that again. They got the upper hand on them in the mid-season finale of season 7. And that's when Rick and the groups joined to go against Negan and the Saviors. So I feel like it'll be repetitive because it just happened twice in a row, right? And we need the survivors to win for the story to move forward, right? Anahum, sorry, I meant Morgan. I didn't write his name. You know, I got what you mean. I got what you mean. Epic Zombie Killer. Hey Ash, will Morgan ever return to The Walking Dead? I hope so. I hope so. I mentioned this in my stream last night. What I want and what I think are different in terms of Morgan and the crossover. I want him to come back. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. I think AMC is going to try to get everything they can out of the Morgan character in terms of bringing ratings to Fear the Walking Dead before they release him. Anna, it is likely Rosita may die, considering she has fixed her fatal flaw. She seems to have conquered her hothead. Yes, she could die, or they could not kill her and give her her comic story, comic death. Could go both ways. Since her comic death and the finale are not that separate, or not separate, but that far apart. They are far apart, but not that far apart in terms of story, right? So they could potentially build it up now with having her, like you say, fix her flaws and then do it in season 9 or maybe after that. But at the same time, they could do it now. Just change her story, remix her story a little bit. Epic Zombie Killer, hey Ash, did you ever see TV Morgan overshadowing comic Morgan? Did you ever see TV Morgan overshadowing? I don't know what you mean there. I don't know what you're referring to. Wooties, do you prefer The Last Walking Dead or The Walking Dead now? My favorite seasons of Walking Dead are from season 5 to season 6. So season 5 and 6. Those are my favorite seasons. So I prefer Walking Dead to do the same thing it's done in those seasons. And I don't mean do the exact same stuff and do the exact same type of material, but make the show feel as exciting as it did back then. Wooties, who's your favorite character? In the show, it's gotta be Rick, Daryl, Carol, Michonne, Carl, Negan, people like that. Rick always first for me right now. And it's gonna continue being like this for quite a while before I switch. Epic Zombie Killer, I mean becoming a bigger character when he was in the comics. Yes. I like that they made Morgan a bigger character in the show than the comics. One, because I love the actor, Lenny James, who's just great as Morgan. And second, they made his story interesting. More interesting than the comics. For the most part. Alright, so I think I'm gonna actually end it now. I did come back, but a few minutes here is good, I think. Um, so yeah, stay tuned for my reaction on Sunday, my breakdown of the next episode for 8:15, and then stay tuned for my review and then the next live stream next Friday. And who, gosh, this thing keeps jumping. Sorry, I mean Rosita. Yeah. Yes, her comic death isn't too far away, but then we didn't expect Carl to die. So now they certainly have got me nervous. Yeah, there's definitely a chance that they might kill Rosita. Yeah, you're right. Negan die at the end of the season 8, or is he still alive? He's most likely gonna survive past that. Thank you, Ash. Thank you for coming back. Thank you everyone for the participation and the support. I really appreciate it. I will see everyone back next Friday for the next live stream. Again, it's going to be most likely at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. One last question. Hey Ash, which version of Rick do you prefer between the show version and the comic version? I prefer both. Comic version of Rick is just great, but TV show version of Rick is great because of Andrew Lincoln's performance and how he brings that character to life. So I like both versions. It's difficult for me to pick one or the other. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you everyone. I will see you next week for the next live stream.